Well, welcome. My name's Craig Carrel, president of Team One Plastics, and I'm pleased to have Troy Nix, executive director of the MAPP organization, with me today. And Troy, as executive director of MAPP, has a unique perspective of the industry. And I thought today I'd like to talk to him, and in particular ask you, sort of where do you see the industry today, and sort of what do you see the future over the next 6 months to a year?
That's a very big question, Craig. and you know, I'll tell you what. If I use the recent study that we did for the plastics processing industry, and we just published it in January. If I were to just very quickly take a look back over the last 12 months, one of the questions that we ask, it's an economic indicator question, and kind of like the presidential year. You know, are you better off today than you were 4 years ago?
Yeah.
And we ask the same question. You know, are you better off today from a sales standpoint than you were a year ago? And it's interesting because in the response in our economic survey, we had about 130 executives across the U.S. running plastics facilities complete this questionnaire, and roughly 7 out of 10 indicated, Craig, that they were better off today from a sales standpoint. And you know that the end of 2010 and coming into 11 was strong, so that's saying a lot.
Right. Right.
And the other thing, it's interesting because I feel that our industry and American manufacturing in general is on a bubble, and the bubble meaning that a bubble of opportunity. And I know there's work coming back from overseas. I think our industry has well positioned itself through the tough times in 2008, 2009, and we've learned how to do things a lot better than what we were doing. And as a result, if you look at one of the key indicator questions now, and that is looking forward.
Yes.
So if you were to ask a group of 100 processors right now, what do you see in the next year in terms of sales levels? We had about 8.5, or about 83%, indicate to us that they're anticipating significant growth in their life cycles in the next 12 months. Wow, what great opportunity.
Yeah. So it seems very, very optimistic from your vantage point. We've had a sort of beginning to come out, and that as far as you can see, the trend continues to look upward.
Yeah, most definitely. And there's some other indicator questions. For example, about half of the survey respondents indicated that they're getting ready to hire. And you know as well as I do that as entrepreneurs, you know, putting people back in the system is a very difficult decision to make, right? Because you're automatically adding cost. And for the industry to basically say, you know, we're thinking about bringing people back in, I mean, that's a huge step forward, and I think it goes to show that the industry is growing and is ready to expand.
So when you talk about sales and employment, what's also the picture that you're getting from the MAPP organization for profits? Because as we also know, that's really what drives a lot of investment, whether it's in people or equipment.
This is a catch-22. I think it's kind of interesting. We actually ask a couple of gut questions in our survey, and if you map these gut questions out over periods of time, and then correlate those questions about are you making more money today or less money, you know, just as a gut, right?
Right.
But then if you correlate that to, you know, what your resin pricing has done over the last couple of months and what your customers have done to you over the last couple of months,
right.
I mean, those correlations are unbelievable. And so from a profitability standpoint, I've seen a curve like this. So when you ask an owner or president if they're making more money, it actually seems as if their gut feel is they're not making as much as they would like.
Right.
And I think the primary reason is that people are investing in their operations now.
Yes.
And they were skimming for a while, but now they've realized that they've got to put money back into their operations, into training, into capital.
Right.
And so it's cutting a little bit of that profitability. That's what I think is actually happening.
So it's more of an investment in the future, so you're taking something out. Everyone was running so lean, and now, you know, they have to reinvest to take that next step.
Yeah, I think so. With everything that we're seeing in the report, I think that's exactly what's happening.
Well, from Team One's perspective, we sort of share your optimism, so we're hoping for a good 2012.